Hello, everyone. Greetings. I'm Nick, and with me today on our weekly devs and holders meeting, as usually, Maciej Orłosz and Bartek, who is our
Hi
dev
everyone.
manager, and the new guest on our live stream is Paweł, who is our BE developer, which is back-end developer. And most of all, it will be important in the another part of the live stream. He is also math and cryptography enthusiast because we're gonna talk about, well, new functionalities and implementation of your request. Yes, we hear you. We're gonna tell you what's new going on the platform, but also we're gonna talk about the reputation mathematic. And me personally, I'm very curious about this. How the reputation is going to work on the BigShortBets platform. But before we start, we're gonna hop into our platform and talk a little bit about the news on our community, about the juicy news and leaks that we had this week. And hopping to our platform, which you see right over here, we got some crazy news for you, which we shared with you actually on the BigShortBets Twitter platform as well. Okay, first of all, this is the active users currently right now, which is almost 1,500. It's going higher and higher. And on our Twitter, if you're not here yet, go and follow. And that was the one of the news that we BigShortBets posted on Twitter. You can read it right here, which is from one of the users called Zen, and it's about Thailand, and it's a leak. It's a leak that Thai military arranging private Moderna vaccines. So yeah, basically, if you want to be up to date with not just things that will be useful for you for your bets, but also for the information like travel information or just all the drama that is happening around the world. As you see, here is the some leaked official documents from Thailand. Basically, long story short, there is a news that the situation with COVID vaccines in Thailand, well, basically the Royal Army of Thai Royal Army, they are getting their vaccines from the Thai Red Cross, well, kind of illegally for themselves and for their family. So there is a big drama going on right now, and this is the news from the platform. You can see it on the platform itself, but also on our Twitter. And we're hopping back to platform because the next news, Maciej Orłosz will tell us about the next news we got from the platform this week.
Yes, as you can see, there's a news from Mascafee. He's a trusted one, so it's a pretty cool. Basically, that GameStop is about to join S&P Midcap 400. Basically, it means that that meme stocks are being a thing right now, and it's getting bigger. It's actually pretty meme that the GameStop is joining Midcap, because as far as I know, it's the first meme stock to join this S&P index that indicates the middle capitalization of the 400 companies in the US states. So yeah, that's pretty cool, I think. Another thing I want to share with you, basically what I read today. It's not necessary you have to find it because it was 2 weeks ago. Because we have one insider from the steel production. He's a steel cooperation manager, I think, something like that, in a Polish market and the Central Europe. And basically, he was indicating that there might be some changes in the steel prices going on. And today I read that the ArcelorMittal, which is the biggest steel company in the world, had the greatest quarter in the last 13 years. So as you can see, we get a pretty good inside info, especially on the raw materials and other kinds of stuff. We have guys from China. We have guys from different kinds of how could you say it, different kinds of industries. For example, like this steel guy. So yeah, I think those information are getting more and more on the platform as the people are coming and registering. We are still trying to gather as many vendors as possible ourselves, but you can see that we're getting more and more quality stuff. Actually, we had one guy who was really community driven, and I think he want to bet against the war on the scammers in the crypto industry. So you can see a lot of posts from this guy. Oh, here it is. Actually, here we have. If you can scroll up a bit.
There it is. Still.
Yeah, still. There, his guy. I don't know. I don't know if I can say who it is, but I texted this guy. He's working directly with the steel industry, within steel industry in Poland, and yeah, he gave pretty good insights in both of his posts. And basically, yeah, you can see that the steel prices getting affected, and there is a lot of demand in it. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, there was one news I noticed about the rise of the prices of Bitcoin, because there was a leak, and you can actually find it on our platform right there. It was before the steel post bait, saying that there is a rumor that Amazon and Twitter will accept Bitcoin. And well, if you were on the platform, you could have that intel hours, maybe days before the rise of the prices of Bitcoin. So that's another benefit of being up to date with our community.
Yes, exactly. It was unconfirmed though, and actually it was some manipulation from one of the employees. But still, we were pretty fast on that information on our platform as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
No, this is why we are building the reputation system, right? Because to make option to reverse, I mean, to have you tool to verify your provider of information, right? But the good thing about the still and there's the resources, right? I just when I have the time and in the free time, I just went through all the base that we have about the increasing the steel prices, and just look on the other resources, and it's great to for example, you have insight in one industry about the specific resource, and you can just reflect that on another, because you know that inflation is going, so all around everything connected to resources will be rising. So it's quite nice to see how fast it's growing in the different industries, and you have this insight information right in our application, right? So it's great to have this opportunity to just make your own resources based on what you have in one place. So it's easier, and for me, more comfortable. I don't need to make 100 tabs in my Google browser.
Yeah.
Sorry, in my browser. It's only one application, so it's great.
Yeah, and this is the interesting, because you guys actually made a point, or what you said, that the leak was not it was not checked. It was unverified, but even though we had it, and another thing that could verify some news, because some leaks may be or fake, or maybe they might be wrong, but the thing on the platform that how you might check if it's fake, if it's a good or a bad news, it's the reputation system that you, Bartek, mentioned.
Yeah, so this is the first of all, we have reactions in the bait, right? To you can, if you know that it's a rumor, you can add your comment and make a reaction that say no, it's not the true, and make a bait down, because somebody is
make a bait up, bait down. I'm gonna bait
exactly
up this
so
news right now, right here.
every vote counts, because the verification of information, the verification baits is in your hands, so every vote counts. So if you are scrolling, if you're reading something, give this small amount of effort to author of this bait, because it will increase his reputation as well, will improve the baits in our board, right? Because thanks that the algorithm knows which is more useful for you, what is less useful, and we can just fill it out with this and just hide something that is rumors, malicious, and something like that, right?
Yes, exactly that. All right, so over to you. devs, because I wanted to talk with you about the reputation system itself and how it actually works, and about all the new functionalities and things you guys been working on this entire last week.
Yes, I think we can start with the reputation, right, Pavel? And then we can move to the less interesting things like small changes that we added in this week. But I think that everybody wants to know
Sure.
what function stays behind your reputation. So,
Okay,
Pavel,
so
go
again,
on.
we have our new guest right on our stream, which is Pavel. He is our back-end developer, and as I said in the intro, he is math and cryptography enthusiast. So Pavel, what have you been working on, and what can you tell us about the reputation system on the BigShortBets platform?
Okay, yes. Hi, as introduced, my name is Pavel and I am backend developer, and I spent quite a long time finding a good solution for the reputation issue. Maybe we start with defining what actually is reputation before we step into details later. I think that, for example, let's imagine if you have some online shop and there is no reputation at all. You don't know who you buy from, and if you pay that person money, you don't know what is the probability that you will get the product you paid for. And we provided full anonymity to our application, and we couldn't define the user if you can trust him or not. We don't have any metrics, and that's why reputation is very important in our application, because it will be I think the main metrics. If you can say that I actually trust this guy, and I will, for example, buy some information from him, or just talk with him and take his words into consideration. Maybe I will show you my screen. Sure. And start with, okay, here we go.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay, I'm streaming, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So here's a whiteboard. I will do my best to write something on it. So for example, let's say we have to have a view on it. If we have, like, for example, I written it down, 10 reviews. And for example, we have 100% of good reviews. And that means that we have a score 10 over 10. So here we have good reactions, and below in denominator we have all reactions. Okay, so we see that this person, we could say we can't be more confident about him, that he gives us good information, or in case of online shop, he will deliver us a good product. But it's not true. For example, if we take another person and we have 50 reviews, okay, and we have, for example, 96% of positive reactions, okay, so it means we have 48 good reactions over 50. Yeah, 50 is also, we know from here we have two negative reactions. And let's take another person. We have here 200 reviews, and let's say 93%. Yes, 93. It means we have 186 good reviews and 200 is the total amount of reactions. And if I told you that we have a seller that we have 3 sellers, they sell the same thing, and who would you buy from? I wouldn't buy from this person. He has 100% of good reviews, but I don't know if he only sold these products to his friends and all of them gave him a positive reaction, and that's why he has 100% of good reactions. So we rather took into consideration these 2 guys. These have more reactions but have less score, and this one have less reactions, but it looks better than the previous one. And how can we do it? How can we put mathematics into it? Because we can only choose it by our intuition, but there is no maths in it. And there is something called Laplace law of succession, and it sounds maybe tough, but it's very simple. I will show you how it works. Let's pretend we have 2 more reactions. We have one positive and 1 negative. And what's our score? So if we put 1 positive and 1 negative to this person, we have 11 positive, and total reactions is 12, yeah, because we added 2 reactions. Okay, I will now calculate it on my my mobile here, and 11 over 12, it's about 91.7%. Okay, so let's do for the other ones. So I will just write here a percentage. So we have 49 positive reactions over 52. And our score now is 0.94 or 94%, yeah, the same. And for the last one, we have 187 over 202, and there is 92.5%. It's one of the simplest solutions to this problem. So we now see that mathematically we could take from this guy because he has the largest score. Yeah, we have 94% of confidence here. Laplace proved that it's a good. Excuse me, do you want to say something? Okay, thank you. Laplace proved that we this formula here, so we add 2 reactions, 1 positive, 1 negative. It's a very, maybe not very, but it's good approximation of the probability that the guy produce a good or a bad reaction. Okay, so maybe I will now show you the naive implementation we started with firstly in our application, but then I will show you in details what actually is now, what currently we have, what system we have now, how it works. But first I would do a quick recap. How could you calculate reputation? Our first approach was that if we have a user, we calculate positive and negative reactions for him. So let's say he has 9 positive, 7 negative. And we did something like that. We sum all the reactions. It's, for example, it's below 1 comment, and another comment has 1 positive, 0 negative. And we sum the positive reactions from all the comments, and we subtract all negative reactions. these comments this user put in our application, and we got some number. Yeah, for example, here we could have 9 plus 1 is 10 minus 7, so we have 3. And this is, it could be our reputation. This is like one of the simplest formulas we can calculate reputation, but it's not good. Why? Because if we have, for example, application which has like ours now about 1500 users. For example, the user on average have let's say 10 positive, 5 negative, so its average score is 5. Yeah. But if we, for example, our application will be 10 times more popular, it will be, our average will shift to the bigger numbers. So now if the user easily got 10 reactions, it will now easily get 100. It's of course approximation, yeah, but you understand, if we have 10 times more popular application, and negative reactions, if he did the same content and the same people reacted, he will have about 50 negative reactions, and now score will be 50. So it's kind of strange, because we have same user with same quality of content, but depending on the size of application, on the amount of users, we got totally different score. Here's 5. 5 doesn't mean anything because we could have 50 and we still don't know if this person is good or bad, because 5, if you see a user with reputation and there is a 5, you don't know anything about that. You need to do some statistics and analyze how large is application, and then you would know if 5 is good or bad. But we want to do something more user friendly. So our approach was to pass this sum over a function, and first we thought about function something like that. And you see, if we have, for example, 5 reactions, we have here a score is 0.0156, yeah. And if we have 50, we have score here, but it's 0.67, so it's not like different 550, but this number starts to mean something. Maybe 0.6. It's, if we have a scale from -1 to +1, 0.6 is not bad. It's not the best, but maybe we can trust this user a little bit. But you should see that this approach has the same problem as I showed you before. If we have 5 users, we would be like in rectangle, maybe from -20 to +20. And if we have 10 times more users in our application, it will be from -200 to +200. And it starts to mean something, because we have from -1 to +1, but it has the same problem that if we have more and more users, we will be moving towards bigger numbers, and we will have reactions like 0.9, 0.991, and it will be again not saying more about the user. Our approach also tried to weight some of reactions, like maybe reactions under debate are more valuable than reactions under the comments. But it's still the same problem, which I personally didn't like very much, that the number we get here doesn't mean anything. It's like 0.8. Okay, it's some number is close to 1, so maybe it's not a bad user, but it doesn't mean anything mathematical. And that was the problem I wanted to solve, and I wanted to put here more mathematics to provide some meaning to these numbers, not only just some score which behaves like it should, but also number which can tell us something about this user. Okay, so maybe start with something. I will show you something like binomial distribution here. I have here a backup. I did it, but I will show you how it works. Okay, so let's say L is our likes number, and there is our dislikes numbers. Let's say them for 1 now, and from 0 to 100, and step is 1, so we will be changing it by 1. Do this the same for dislikes, and n is sum of them, so it's number of all reactions. And binomial distribution works like this. Let's say, provided we know that our user has a success rate, for example, 95%, it means that it produces likes with 95% probability and dislikes with 5% probability, right? We can model it like this. Let's give some name to this function. Let's say we have 50 reactions. Okay, so we can put it like this. Okay, to the 48. It means that we want to have 48 positive reactions and 2 negative reactions, and we want to calculate the probability with what's the probability that provided that we have a 95% user let's say score, we will get a 38 good reactions and 2 dislikes. Yeah, I will try to a little bit speed up here because I think I'm running out of time, but let's create here also binomial, Newton binomial. Maybe you know if you attended to introductory probability classes that it counts if we have a set or maybe if we have a bucket and we have, for example, balls, how many possible ways are to put these balls into the buckets. Okay, so it counts this. I will copy it from here. I don't want to rewrite it. Okay, and we need to put it here. We have 50 over 38. Okay, let's put it from 0 to 1, and we see here this binomial distribution. If we what it means, if we have a user which has a success rate of 95%, what is the probability, for example, to get 96%? So it means that we got 38 positive reactions and 2 negative. Okay, and here it is. It's 0.27. Yeah, that this happens. Okay. Now, if we want to from this chart if we want to create a probability distribution function, we need to put the coefficients such that the area under this graph is 1, okay? Because it will, the meaning of this is that we, from 0 to 1, so from the event that will not happen to the event that is certain that will happen, we have a probability 1 for if we take all possible ways, okay? I will show you here a calculator which I use. It's very useful, especially if you are a student. Okay, so let's take okay. So again, we have here let's put here n, so it's sum of likes and dislikes, and here likes. Here we put likes in the exponent, and here we put dislikes. And now if we use this, if we change these numbers here, we can see how our graph will change. So if we have 1 like and 1 dislike, it's intuitively, I think, very intuitive that we have our peak on the graph is on a 0.5. Yeah, so it says that it's the same probability that the next will be like and dislike. And if we put more likes, we can see that this graph shifts to 1, yeah? So if we have, for example, 15 likes and 1 dislike, we can see that the peak is on 0.93. So we can say that the largest probability is that this person has 93% of success, yeah? Okay, so let's go back to this function to make it distribution, because as you can see now, if we add more dislikes, more likes, this graph goes down. This graph goes down, and if we if we have a lot of likes and a lot of dislikes, a lot of reactions, it will be very low. Now calculator even can't calculate it because the numbers are too small. So to make it distribution, we need to divide this function by the area under this to make it 1. Okay, so let's take another function here, and it will be our fx. I will show you now what's the area under this function before we try to normalize it. So go to, let's say, take integral, and we will be integrating from 0 to 1 f of x dx. And you see that the area is 0.0833, so it's a lot of smaller than 1. Yeah, we need to be at 1. Okay, so here I have this calculator, and it's like it's kind of a parser. It can parse natural language, and if we put some formula here, it will try to understand it. So we say integrate, and I put this formula here. This is the same formula I use it here. And from 0 to 1, so it means it does exactly that here. Okay, it does exactly that here, and we have a result here. It's a symbol like t. It's a gamma function, but it's not a problem for us. Gamma function is very it's like a if you want to get a factorial and you want to generalize it over real numbers, because as we know, factorial can be only calculated for natural numbers, you use gamma function, and that's not very hard. Okay, so I calculated it before the live to not to bore you very much. So we have a coefficient, let's say I, as I remember, is 1 over likes plus dislikes plus 1. Let's try this. Let's make a function g and take f of x divided by I. Okay, it looks promising. And take integral of it and check if this area under this is 1. Okay, g of x dx. Yes, perfect. 1. I don't know if you can see that, but you can believe me that here it says equals 1. If you want to, I can make something like that. Y equals, and you see that y is on the 1 and it doesn't change. Okay, so now our green graph is our distribution graph. So we can switch off this purple. As you see, the green graph is the same like purple, but it's scaled up to the area under this B1. Okay, and it has a very interesting
Type.
Okay, so I will tell you how to interpret this graph. If we take, for example, x equals 0.1 and x equals 0.9, if we have a such distribution for a user, we can interpret this that let's take integral from 0.1 to 0.9. So 0.1, 0.9. And if we take integral of dg, we get the result 0.9999. So it means that our user has a success rate between 0.1 and 0.9 for 99% with 99% probability. Okay, and why I say that? I say that because it will lead us to Wilson score, which works very similar to this. It's like a approximation of this what we do here, because the problem with this what we do here is that if we got a large number of likes and dislikes, computer will not handle that. You see, the graph switches off because the number, especially this binomial, gets very large. I can show you here if I copy this here. Okay, and take, here we have n and here we have likes. It's now undefined, but if I lower a little bit, you see it's like times 10 to the 47 power. So it gets exponentially large if we get more and more reactions. So we need some approximation. Yeah, I lost the words. I'm sorry. So we need some approximation. We can't calculate that on our machines. I will copy here Wilson score, which I wrote it here before, and I will show you how it works. First, we get P. P is very simple. It's just likes over all reactions. Then we get a Z factor. I won't explain this here, but it's like it says how certain we want to know this. And we get Wilson, 3 Wilsons, say, and I will show you how to calculate lower and upper band. If we have formulas, it's very simple. Okay, so if we want to calculate lower band, we get W subscript 1, W minus W subscript 2. Okay, and we all of this we divide by W3. Okay, I will switch off these bands, and I will say X equals this. So this is our Wilson lower band, and let's take Wilson upper band is W2. If somebody feels that it's the solution of a quadratic equation, if it is exactly that, because Wilson to get these formulas needed to solve some kind of quadratic solutions, and that's why here is minus, here is plus, like in primary school, let's say. Okay, so and what it means, z factor tells that between z factor 2 tells approximately that between these bands we have a 95% of this graph, of this area under this graph. So it means, without this heavy computation of binomial here, that if we take lower band, we know that for 95%, we know that the user is better than in this case 0.17, yeah? So it's like a band, and we know that for 95% the user is better than this band, okay? Upper band says the opposite, that for 95% the user is worse than this band, but in our reputation system we use the lower band because we are more interested in telling maybe lower a little bit our reputation, but it will be more certain, and you will, if you see 0.6, you know that for 95% the user is better than 0.6. Okay, it has a little problems when there are not many reactions. For example, if we have like one reaction and two likes and one dislike, 0 dislikes, you see that the lower band is 0.3, and we don't want to, if user got 2 likes and 0 dislikes, we don't want the user to be like punished because he has 0.3 score. So I used in our reputation system Laplace law of succession, which I showed before, for the likes that are below some amount. And if we get more likes here, for example, a guy got 30 likes and 2 dislikes, our lower band is 0.79, so I think it's a good score if you got 30 likes and 2 dislikes. And if you got more and more likes, you see that it approaches 1. It's now 0.88. No, and we can go higher and higher, and we approach 1. Now it's 0.91. Okay, I think that is everything I wanted to show you. I know
I have one question, Pavel. So it means that the fact that we are using the lower bound, it means that we can easily predict that the score that we assign to the user is correct, right? So this is why you So like guys, Pavel said, we use that, and we want to make sure that everybody are tricked by algorithm and mathematics in a fair way, right? So everybody is tricked in the same way, in a fair way, and yeah.
Yes, we have some ideas how to develop this, but I won't tell about them now. I think the next lives we will show them. Okay, so
Okay,
thank you
cool.
very much.
How
I
you
think
guys
that-
doing actually? How is your brains? I'm really impressed myself about your skill and how you remember all that stuff, how you know all this stuff. Much respect. What do you guys think? Shall we take some questions from the chat?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that there is a lot of important questions. Some of them I can answer, some of them Pavel will answer, I think. So let's go and we can just discuss because the reputation is quite important. So let's use this time that we have a lot of track. Sorry, not the track, but the a lot of questions in the chat. So let's answer all of them.
Okay, so we can proceed with the question. I could say for myself, yeah, I'm really, it was really interesting for me, even though my brain is actually boiling as well. But yeah, it was pretty good and pretty good the usage of the Newton theory, Newton-Riemannian theory. So yeah, that's cool. But we proceed with questions. First question from Namrasit. Does the reputation has time limit? It means if someone do nothing from the long time, does it means he gonna lose the reputation or it's just permanent?
No, we don't have time limits. We think about them, but I think Bartek, we probably won't punish users if they just don't get reactions. We want to do this that if somebody gets more reactions, it will be higher than this guy, but we won't punish this person.
Yeah, you need to remember that the main use case of our application is that you don't know when you have safe connection to our application, right? And we don't want to punish anybody if they want to stay safe and they want to exploit themselves and they do not have, let's say, environment or condition to log into the application. So there is no point to make any punishment for that, right? So because it's not the standard way, there's not the normal social media platform, right? That we want to encourage user to be every day and log in, because sometimes you don't have to, the right computer, right connection, and so on to do that. So I don't see any point to to punish you that you are keeping you safe in a good place, right?
Sure, there is actually a follow-up question from the same user from Namasid. And the reputation increase only from selling information, which means basically by doing baits, the posts, or also of activity on the platform, logins, comments, using market, and other things on the platform? Or is it just for the baits up and baits down?
Let's Paul say what is right now, and I will say you where we want to be.
All right.
Okay, so right now we count reactions under the baits and comments. Okay, so you get reputation selling information like publishing baits and also being active user writing comments under the somebody else bait. Okay, but we have plans to change it a little bit, so Bartek can say.
Yeah, so this is the basic, because the Pavel needs to have let's say basic variables to start building the mod function, right? But after that we want to extend that module with the with, for example, you need to remember that there is some types of user. For example, there will be person who want to buy something but want to be able to add reaction comments because they are for example afraid or so on. And for all activities you can gain the reputation as well. You can use your reputation. So if you sell information and you will collect the good reviews after that, it will increase your reputation. If you will giving the reaction and you will be scoring others baits, then as well it will be improving your reputation. If you are collecting the reaction, it will be as well affecting your reputation, so on, so on. There will be so many options to affect your reputation, because your behavior, your action reflects what person you are. So if you are behaving in a good way, we can trust you in every places, right? In every transaction, so on, then you are trusted, honorable user. But if you are, for example, giving good information but you are selling the crap, you can't have, and there is no option to give you the trusted or good reputation level, right? So yeah, we are all expanding the function, but no worries, there will be a lot of option to gain your reputational lose as well.
All right, I'm still checking out the comments.
All right, thank you, Pavel and Bartek. There's another question. Does the people with good reputation in Sandbox will have any profits? For example, higher reputation in the final lap?
Yeah, the good information, the good baits will stay. It's decision that I already can announce. And what I can say, like we already mentioned a few times during the live, and I will say that once again, people who join our sandbox, people who bought any coins during the first pre-sale, second pre-sale, and this sale, all these people will have more or less bigger advantage to their reputations. Means I'm not sure it will be the let's say the something that will be multiply your reactions and your function, or maybe it will be let's say once a boost to your reputation. We will see, but for sure there is a decision that we want to thank you for your participation, for your effort, for your help. So if you want to get your booster reputation, there is still, I think, before the coins is released, still you'll be counting on a list. So if you still don't join with your account where you want to have this boost to the reputation, it's a good time to do that. And I
you
think
can
it
still
is
do that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Here
I
you
think
have
that
the instruction on how to join the BigShortBets sandbox if you haven't done it already. But you can also use not your alternative wallet, but your primary wallet to join and get the reputation before it's too late.
yeah, because we will stand before the coin release. We will save the list of the addresses, right, in our application, and based on that, we will be there will be based on that we will be giving you the boosts to your reputations. Okay, next question, I think, right?
All right, let's proceed further. So there's one question from Jan Tiger. So are we ready for a huge number of users after token claim?
Oh yes, we are.
Yes, we already. I mean, we had a attack, right, with the high volume of the requests in our NPI, and everything works fine. There was no delays in your requests and any crashes during the using the application by users. They not including in the attack. So I think that we are ready, and as well we can easily increase our server resources to make sure that everything is stable and running fast. So no worries about it.
So the current capacity is, as you see, almost 1500. So Bartek, you think how many more people could join? Like 1 million people?
I think that we are not reaching our 2-3% of our
Wow, okay. So we can get a
So-
huge amount of people. We can make a country. We can build our own country right now, actually.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's amazing. So
There is another question from...
Yes.
Go on.
Yes, there is another question about the reputation. So are all the users can have maximum reputation, reach maximum reputation, or is like somehow divided, like only 5% can be the top users, I don't know, then 10% can be, I don't know, trusted or anything, or is it like it's individual, all the users can have like trusted or verified or any other?
If you want to know about the numbers, nobody can reach 1. Okay, so it's like a limit. But we think about ranks. Yeah, if we will do it like maybe 5% could be honorable, but we think still about that. Maybe it's not the best idea because we will punish the other people who are also good but can't be honorable because it's only 5%. So it's still in progress. Now, if everybody got only likes, everybody could be after time honorable. Okay. For
Alright.
now is that, but we think about this.
I can add here because Pavel is so. I mean that Pavel just only come up with the hard part of our reputation system. I mean that the part that we need to make sure that we are centered about your reputation. But there will be the second value that we want to stir, and it will be going to infinity value that will allow us to create the rankings, who is the higher. This number don't need to be so accurate because it's just only for game, let's say, gamify, the game factor of our application to to encourage you to be the best on the list and so on. And so there will be different. It will be based on some of the calculation that Pavel added to our application for his function, but it will be the different value and it won't be connected with that. But we will use that for making the rankings of the users, right? This reputation is for making you the correct level, right? The trusted, the honorable, so on. It will be used for calculating your power application, but for ranking and for fun, it will be the different number and different function for that. And
it won't be bounded.
yeah.
There
Yeah.
will be no upper bound.
Exactly.
It can go into infinity.
All right, I have a question actually. So about the new functionalities, will users be able to delete their own bait?
This is I want to show you today because based on our users' requests and the guys who just created very big groups in our application, we added the option for owners to delete the baits. But we need to remember that if there is freedom like this we try to introduce in our application, we need to make sure that there is no tool to manipulate your community, right? So in the future, probably there will be option that you can, let's say, not delete the bait, but archive them.
Sure.
It means that
archive.
everybody
yeah,
can,
it sounds good.
so everybody can find it if they want, but they will be, hidden if there will be normal using application, right? Why we want to go in that way? It's needed a little more effort right now for us, but it's needed like that because it's quite easy to, for example, collect money or maybe make a scam and disappeared, right? And there was no trace back to that. It won't be reflected in your reputation. For example, there will be exploit that if you be able to delete your baits, you can, let's say, reset your reputation because you want.
Sure.
If you delete your baits with the negative reputation, then the reputation will be higher, right?
Yeah.
We can't do that. But right now we are thinking because groups, they are quite independent, right? So we added only the delete option to the groups for owners.
Okay.
So right now I will show you that during the next part of this dev presentation. But let's back to the reputation, I think, right?
Yeah, sure.
Any other questions, Maciej?
No, that's all the questions confirming. So we can proceed with the part.
Like you can see, we all everybody in our team, they are quite I can say like that we are freaks in what we are doing, and I'm quite happy that Pavel is with us. And you can see that sometimes it's hard for guys from our team to catch up with Pavel. So I hope you after maybe watching this live 5 times, you will understand like us after a few tries, right? But let's back. First of all, I want to just say that there was a small change in the sandbox, and it's quite significant change in our sandbox. Why? Because maybe you remember that we are always announcing that the coins will be the tickets to the application. So you need to have a coins to get access to application. Right now, we started testing this module on our application, but let's say in a not offensive way for you. What does it mean? It means that if you are creating new account, the application will check your profile. I mean your other Ethereum wallet. If there is any transaction on a mainnet blockchain, if there is any transaction in the mainnet blockchain, then we allow you to create the account. But if there is not, it's empty, a wallet without any transactions or so on, then the application will say that you won't be able to join the application. I don't have the maybe, oh, never mind. So there will be missing information. So I want to introduce that if right now, of course, it's not affecting the people who's already in the application. So if you don't have any transaction on the blockchain and you already have account in our application, everything will be works fine. But if there is new icon created, there right now we are adding the let's say the condition that you need to have the transaction on a blockchain. Okay, let's go to the application. Let me just quickly look on my notes because I forget what I want to present. It's too many things to say. Yeah, so
we
first of
have
all,
we have extended devs and holders meeting today.
yeah,
Very
I'm
important,
sorry.
interesting
Yeah,
stuff.
24
No
hours
worries.
live stream. Yeah,
Oh,
let's
it's
go.
good. It was perfect. Yeah.
It's 12, right? It's 12 meetings, so I think we can just
20th.
take a little bit more time.
It's
20,
20th.
sorry.
20th.
20th, yeah.
Anniversary devs hodlers meeting. So we can extend the time a little bit longer. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for staying in the chat and everything. And be ready for asking questions.
Okay, guys. So like you can already just can see on during the Maciej and Mikołaj presentation, but right now the whole UI, the whole style of application.
Okay, we're back.
Okay.
Yes, we are back.
Yeah. So like I said, the new UI, everything's fine, and like start talking about this new section. About that new view that we want to introduce in the future, it will be rankings, right? We want to show you the most like it the bytes with the most the biggest number of the reactions, the comments, the biggest groups, the person who has the highest reputation, so on. But we start with the hashtags. Why? Because we think that it will show you first of all that something is important happen in the different areas in our application. So you can see that, for example, hashtag crypto just rocketing the numbers of the baits. So you can just imagine that something interesting just appeared in the application. So this is why we are trying this, and I think it will be useful and it will help you to just let's say using our application as well, right? Okay, next thing is I already said about the logging, about the reputation. We already said that. Yeah, so as well, there was an option to, like I said, there was your request that you ask us to give the owners option to delete the base. So if you go to groups that you are owner, where is my group? Yeah, okay. So you can see if you are owner, there will be the icon like that. And if you click on this icon right now in the groups, only in the groups, if I approve that, the bait with all reactions and the comments will be removed from application, and they will be no longer visible. And there is not only the option to delete your baits. Of course, if you're owner, you can delete every bait in your group because it's your group, right? There is no option for moderators to delete their the baits because I think that it's too risky to make that change like that. But if you as a community say that you want to expand this logic and this thing more and allows your moderators to moderate and delete based on your groups, we always can change that and add, right? Okay, guys, I think that it's everything that is main. Of course, we are maybe there is one icon that will be working in the future, but I think that it's right now it's redirecting to allows you to share baits outside the Tor,
Amazing.
but it will be, let's say, limited to, let's say, landing page. But we are still working on that because there is some let's say obstacles that we need to let's say go through. And after that, I think that it's in a matter of hours, maybe in a day, it will be working. But yeah, this is all.
Okay.
We are as well working, like I already said, and we have first steps of testing the coins in our application, and we already deploying and testing our nodes of private blockchain. So yeah, everything is going in the right direction, I think.
Well, it is. It looks like it is. Yes. If you guys have any last questions, because we are already, how is it, over an hour? if you have any questions for our devs or about our community, let us know right now. And if you are still not on the platform, just remember to follow BigShortBets Twitter, and right there you got an information about how to sign up to the sandbox if you haven't yet.
We can mention that you can find on Twitter some screenshots from our application with the leaks, but the easiest and the fastest way to get the access to the information is to create your own account now in the sandbox, right?
Yeah, there we go. Yep, some big news, leaks.
The funny thing is that we have a sandbox, right, Mikołaj? But it's not the content in the sandbox is not the sandbox content, right? It's quite funny and quite interesting that people everybody want to so much to use that application that they start using that in the right way, let's say, not that only the testing way. So yeah, I'm quite proud and quite impressed how fast it's going on.
Right.
And it's gonna only getting better.
Yep.
Okay, guys, I think I don't see any questions.
Yeah,
so...
we might conclude the meeting. I'm gonna show your faces just to say goodbye. How do I do this? Here. Right here.
Bartek, we have comments that the new design looks nice. So I think the community, they are happy with the new design. Some bit of the fresh breeze, and we actually gonna update. I don't know when the new UI design gonna pop in, but yeah, we're trying our best to get it better and better. So you can see the progress, and you can see that we are working on it pretty hard. And yeah, this is what we do.
Yeah, this is how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see Paweł is so tired of mathematics.
So Paweł is tired right now. We're gonna ask our community how they feel about your presentation, because I think their mind's pretty blown up,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It was pretty cool. I loved it. I love the presentation. Now I know everything. How to hack our reputation system.
How to hack.
Exactly.
Amazing.
It's unhackable.
Yeah, we already had tested the platform already. Last week we've been talking about it. We had a huge amount of new accounts, which were basically bots coming in, pouring in, but the platform survived and managed the incoming traffic. It was amazing, though. I know you had a big work. How was it actually? You've been busy, guys, solving this up, no?
Not exactly. We just in the first place we just assume that it's quite somebody who's just joking, but we just realized it's a tech guy. But few days and everything back to normal, right?
Managed, sure. All right, guys.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Like this.
Yes.
If something like this should happen, it should happen right now while we have our sandbox platform.
Yeah, the sandbox is for you to test it. If you have any ideas, if you see any bugs, any kind of things you would love to be added inside the community. I mean, this is all the new functionalities is for you, and implementation of new requests. Right, it's basically for you, and we want to make sure, and we want to be clear with you that these lives are just for you to so you can see for yourself. Yeah, these are the people working behind it. It's not just some kind of random I don't know, platform out of nowhere from, I don't know, Russia or whatever. No, we are here, Polish guys doing hard work behind the scenes. These are the people right here doing all the hard work, and I'm glad you have the opportunity to meet them, because
maybe our life will be the the source of the knowledge for document about the BigShortBets when after our success.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
With all the problems.
Okay, Bartek saying, well done guys, pretty revolutionary idea there, looks nice, super, works fine. I'm glad you like it, and thank you so much, Paweł. Thank you so much, Bartek and Maciej, and I'm Mikołaj. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. It was a pleasure, and I see you guys next week for another devs and holders meeting. This was number 20, and we're gonna see you next week, number 21. Thank you, guys. See you again.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.